Okay everyone, in this series of videos I'm going to take you through one of the workflows for turning line art into art ready for digital colors. I will be using a scan from the sketches I did, the ink sketch I did earlier in the course. And I'll also be demonstrating how to fill areas, how to do a little bit of cleanup, and talk about some other considerations for when you are working with this type of a workflow. So you can see here that I have my scanner ready to go. This is a dinosaur. This is an old Epson 1650. These things seem to be indestructible. I've had this thing for a very long time. Maybe, I said, at least 15 years, maybe longer. So this is what I mentioned in our slideshow on Tuesday night. When you go to scan your artwork, if you are using a scanner, you want to look for the type of artwork you're going to be scanning. So the reason that I choose text or the equivalent, which might say black and white, so you see here it says black and white, sometimes that says grayscale, right? So sometimes it says text, sometimes it says black and white, sometimes it might say bitmap. So when I choose this option, I am using image capture on my Mac. And through image capture, I can choose a resolution. So just in the interest of time, I'm going to choose 1200. And I'm trying to capture as much data as possible at this resolution. You'll find that because you're working, if you're scanning with the 1-bit mode, you will have the ability to have more data initially, although the scan will take some time because you're only scanning or having the CCD detect black and white pixels. So there's always a trade-off there. And of course, you won't have the full gamut of values, but you will be able to have a file that's a little easier to clean up once you get it into your digital paint program. All right, I'm going to go ahead and send this to the desktop. Always pay attention to where your scan is going before you hit the scan. And so my resolution is set. The size, I have to define that with this bounding box. I'm going to have a little bit of, I think I'm going to go ahead and emphasize the crop here. Push that a little bit further. I'll include the line there. And I can always resize the crop when I get this into Photoshop. Moving down the list so I know where this is being scanned to, I'm going to give it a name. And then the format. So if you're dealing with files for print, a TIFF is perfectly fine. A TIFF would be fine for grayscale or for line art. You'll notice that the options are going to be limited depending on which color mode you choose. So I'm going to go back here to text. Notice that that's only giving me the option. It's not going to give me the other options like the black and white. I can also choose the bit depth. This would be an 8-bit file. This would be I believe, a 16-bit file. That's what this scanner was able to scan to. So back to text. Desktop is the location. I've given the file a name. I've chosen a format for TIFF. That will be fine for this exercise. Image correction. If I want to go in, I'm going to hit manual and adjust the threshold. Okay. Every pixel that is gray, white, or black is going to be, well, every gray pixel is either going to be converted to black or to white. So this slider is going to increase or decrease the number of gray pixels that'll hop over to the white or the black side of the fence. Right, so I'm going to leave it there, just recognizing that some of the image is going to degrade a bit. I'm just going to accept that as just part of my process. I'll have a little bit of texture up here, but when we look at the scan, when it's finished, we're going to see just black and white pixels. So there's just little specks up there. All right, and then, so I have some manual correction there. I'm not going to have any dithering there. That just adds a little bit of random dots. I'm not sure why you would need that. Unsharp mask, I'm not going to do any other adjustments to the image. The descreening will be used if you are scanning something that already has some halftone dots present in it. So if something scanned from a good quality magazine, maybe a comic book, something printed with halftone dots, you can use the descreening function to minimize the kind of the interference patterns that happen when we try to scan halftone dots. other things are fine. Dust removal, if you have a dirty image, you might play with these settings if you have them to reduce the amount of cleanup you have to do. All right, so I have an overview already here. That side there. And then we're going to click Scan. Once the scan is complete, I'm going to switch over to opening this file in Photoshop. All right, see you in the next video.